Good afternoon, good evening. I'm going to go ahead and call our meeting to order. This is our last week of school in December. I was waiting for a little cheer there, Wendy. No, that's not what I meant.
Come on, cheer with me, huh?
Wendy is now a cheer coach at her school. Just saying. So I'm going to just jump right to our agenda. I do,
Awards and recognition.
yes, we're going to start out with awards and recognitions.
Okay. All right. Feels weird today there. All right. I want to take a moment tonight to recognize Mrs. Deborah Reed. Deborah has spent her career making a difference in education, first as a high school teacher, then as an education recovery leader with the Kentucky Department of Education, and finally here in Scott County as Director of Secondary Education. Her passion and attention to detail was witnessed most recently as she led a massive effort to ensure over 700 students across the district could visit the Nancy and David Wolf Holocaust and Humanities Center in Cincinnati thanks to the generous contribution of an anonymous donor. She knew how powerful it was for students to experience history and humanity firsthand. This opportunity readily aligns with an important competency in our profile of a learner, being an empathetic and compassionate citizen. That same drive is evident in her relentless support of our career and technical education and gifted and talented programs. Though often behind the scenes, her efforts directly contribute to the success of students who are ready for their future when they walk across the graduation stage. Whether it was navigating the complexities of curriculum, supporting our principals through the daily challenges of school leadership, or ensuring best practices in the classroom, Deborah has approached each and every day with professionalism and a steady hand. She's guided our secondary principals and teachers through critical years of growth and change, always keeping her focus on what is best for the student. She's been a trusted advisor on the OSL team, and I know that, like me, they will miss her tremendously. Deborah leaves behind a legacy of excellence that will continue to benefit our community in the years to come. On behalf of the entire Scott County Schools family, thank you for your service. We wish you nothing but the best in retirement, Mrs. Deborah Reed. Congratulations. That's not all.
Oh, that's
I promised you when you left, you were going to get a framed copy of your favorite policy.
That is so cute.
Can we know what that policy is? What's our favorite?
Deborah, so Ms. Reed has, she has, over the years, we have evolved our alternative education program, as you all are well aware, by offering online learning as well as our voluntary and involuntary. And with all of those tweaks and changes, we've had to make a little adjustments, and that policy's probably been touched more than any policy in the district. And she has been a part of those. So I always told her that when she left us, I was going to get her a copy of that. So there you go.
Is that how you go?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. That
Congratulations, Deborah. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Best wishes. Number 4, agenda approval.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, public comment. We're going to start out with Christine. If you'll please come up and join us.
Thank you, Ms. Hollider. Got it.
Certainly cannot take Mike's place.
Oh. Mike doesn't usually have handouts.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, thank
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm going to be reading some words that, of course, Mike has sent because he could not be here tonight. He just had a minor injury and just wasn't able to make it in today. So I'm just taking his place, and I'll make sure I keep to my 3 minutes. Good evening, board members and Mr. Parker. I regret that I am unable to be here with you tonight due to my minor accident, but I wanted to be sure my voice and my gratitude were still shared as we enter the Christmas holiday season. As we reflect on this time of year, I want to sincerely thank each of you for your leadership and commitment to Scott County. We are truly blessed to work alongside a board and administration that value collaboration and relationships. I especially want to thank you for continuing to work hand in hand with SCEA and its now 470 members. The trust and partnership we have built together mean a great deal to us, and we are proud of what we have accomplished so far, and hopefully for what lies ahead. While we celebrate our successes, we also recognize that many challenges remain. As we move forward, it is critical that we continue to center our work around the people who make our schools function every single day. Our classified staff, bus drivers, custodians, cafeteria workers, instructional assistants, secretaries, and support professionals are often the first faces our students see and the steady hands that keep our buildings running. Their needs, their well-being, and their voices matter deeply, and we must remain intentional in supporting them in meaningful ways. Our teachers and administrators that push to make our students the best and brightest, the programs we continue to add that bring value for our students, like the T4 program that has truly made Scott County a step above our neighboring counties. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak before you each month, and as Mr. Parker can attest, our conversations often reflect far more celebrations than concerns. When concerns do arise, I truly appreciate the prompt and thoughtful responses Mr. Parker provides, often during our meetings, which speaks to the respect and care shown toward our employees. As we head into this break, I hope each of you is able to rest, reflect, and spend quality time with loved ones. The new year will undoubtedly bring new challenges, but I am confident that by working together with compassion and purpose, we can continue improving the lives of our students, teachers, administrators, and especially our classified staff. The future of our schools depends on our willingness to make bold, caring decisions and to clearly affirm to our communities that our people are the most valued and essential part of our schools. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing. Tasha? I wanted to add in, I believe now, are the two of you both going to speak, or are you just going to speak?
I think I'm just,
But you're just going to combine your times?
yes.
Okay, I have a,
I probably won't even need both,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
all right, I just want to make sure everything is understood, so,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
And I just kind of want to make it clear too, since this is the first time
Sure.
you've been here to speak to us. We're happy that you're here and that you're going to voice your concerns. We won't be conversing, but we
Correct,
listen
yeah.
to what it's just part of the procedure that we
Yeah.
follow. So I just wanted you to be aware that we won't be conversing, and
Understand.
I don't want you to be offended or feel
No,
like
no,
you
no.
left without being heard.
I appreciate it.
But I feel like that's important to share with you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay? All right, thank you.
Do I start now? I don't have handout.
You're
Okay.
We're impressed by this. It's okay.
Good evening. My name is Tasha Williamson, and I'm a parent here in Scott County. I'm here tonight because my daughter did exactly what we teach our children to do. She spoke up when an adult crossed the line. She reported inappropriate sexual boundary crossing behavior by a school employee. Grooming is sexual misconduct. It is a deliberate violation of boundaries and a well-recognized precursor to sexual abuse, even when it has not reached a criminal threshold. What happened after she reported is why I'm here tonight. My daughter now says, "I told you they didn't care. I wish I never said anything, and I won't ever do it again." That alone should stop every parent in this room. A public statement described this as involving a student and labeled it an unsubstantiated claim because there were no witnesses. But more than one student reported concerns, and grooming does not happen in front of witnesses. It happens in private by design. With my daughter's permission, I want to be clear about the context of what she reported. An adult employee of the school asked my minor daughter I have more, but that's what she was comfortable with me sharing. That's not health education. It's not instruction. It's sexual boundary violation. I ask that each of you just reflect on how you would expect this district to respond if it were your child that came home and told you that. I'm not alleging a crime. I'm describing reported conduct that is sexual in nature, inappropriate, and unacceptable in any school setting. The district later confirmed through video that my child spent hours in this teacher's classroom on the day the most vile conversation occurred, and she wasn't even scheduled to be in there that day. Despite that, the teachers remained around students. I want to be very clear about what this is. This is not simply a personnel issue, and I know that it plainly states that you all cannot address that, and I respect and understand that. This is a student safety issue, and schools are not courts. They're guardians of children that parents like us trust with our children every single day. We don't wait for a fire before installing smoke detectors, and we don't put our seatbelt on after the car crash. So why are we waiting for harm to become hit this criminal threshold before we're acting to protect our kids? I understand the staffing difficulties that districts face today, but when any adult is given access to children, the standard for boundaries and protection must be unwavering. The superintendent manages this district on behalf of this board, and how student safety concerns are handled reflects the leadership, expectations, and accountability of this board. If details are minimized before they reach this room, appropriate action cannot occur, and children lose trust in the system meant to protect them. Parents trust this district with their children every single day, like I said. That trust depends on one thing, that when a child speaks up, the system protects the child, not reputations, and not convenience, and not silence. I don't care if the person involves the President of the United States or Joe that's your neighbor down the street. No reputation is more important than my child's safety and any of our children's safety. As a mother who's assaulted as a teenager and didn't speak up, I know exactly what happens when early warning signs are minimized. Children stay quiet, and they carry that. I'm 35, so I'm assuming I'll carry that for the rest of my life. But at least until 35, I can vouch for that. When people stay quiet and they don't speak up, then systems fail. I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm here to just ask that you all lead. I'm specifically asking for immediate removal from student contact during investigations involving sexual misconduct. Clear, enforceable anti-retaliation protections for students who report. Trauma-informed investigative practices. And meaningful, immediate action when more than one student raises concerns. I don't feel like these are extreme requests. They're just preventative measures. Ultimately, they protect the students, the staff, and this district. Please don't wait for something to become criminal before we take action. Our children and our community deserve better and the best. Thank you.
You are welcome to share the rest of the meeting with us if you'd like. Or you're welcome to, if you feel like you want to go, it's up to you.
Okay.
If you feel like you'd like to go or like to stay, either or is just fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. 6 consent agenda items, A through I.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, construction report. There you are. I couldn't find you, Tony.
Good evening.
Hi,
Merry
Tony.
Christmas, everyone.
Thank
Good
Merry
to see you.
Christmas.
Yes. Well, it hadn't been the best of weather, but certainly they've been moving along and shown some signs of progress. I'm just going to actually start by showing you. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Where do I point? Oh, there you go. This is actually a drone shot from last month. You may remember, just I wanted to compare it to where it is and where it was. So you can see there's the entry, and there's some no walls in the cafeteria and no slab past where those columns are. And this is today, just about the time the wind and rain came. So, but you can see there's decking over top of the storm shelter area and plastic in the windows. And if I move a little bit to the left, the area just outside of there now has decking on it. They're getting ready to put plastic in the windows, of course, so they can start working inside as well. The entry is now topped out, and I give it to them. They were working in the rain there. The section to the left, now they've infilled those windows with plastic, ready to be able to work inside there at Oxford. If you go around to the end, they're ready for brick now, which there is some brick on site, ready to go. You walk around the back. You can see they're continuing to work and get some things done. And they were there. You couldn't see a lot of people outside. But again, I think this is the time they all started ducking inside because it started getting windy and rainy, as we all know. And there's the cafeteria area. You can see the walls up, getting up to joist bearing level. So considering, what the weather's been like over the past month, and and they've been working on Saturdays and sometimes Sundays even. So I'll really have to give it to them. We have a construction progress meeting next Tuesday, so we'll get a good update on how they feel like if they've lost any time or. But at this point, they've been. I don't want to say guaranteeing, but they're shooting for that same deadline that we're all shooting for, and that's occupancy next fall break. And if you see, I'm sorry, fall semester, fall semester. I said break, sorry,
Yeah, Tony,
fall
we're done
semester. Yeah, you all are good listeners. I
Report's
tell you,
over.
I can't.
Report's over.
I can't slide one word past you all. Fall
You had it on
semester.
break.
Yeah.
You had it on fall break.
It's like when I said K6 back in and I was just showing this materials. If you see PO invoices for a lot of materials, it's because they have loaded the site with materials and they're all ready to be installed. And there's the brick. So the brick's going to start any day now. So really, that's, not a lot of pretty pictures. It's all nuts and bolts at this point, so not a lot of pretty pictures. But like I said, there will be a construction meeting next Tuesday, and Mr. Parker's been attending those as well as Greg and others. So I'm sure you'll be able to, we'll get a report out on that as well, and some meeting minutes. And that is it for the construction report, unless there's any questions.
Let's just clarify.
Well, when does school start? I'm sorry, I said break. Yeah. Yes. So the fall semester.
Well, the fall semester could go beyond fall break, Tony. So in some ways, you digressed a little bit with that comment.
Say August 1, 2026.
All
How's that for the
right.
meetings?
There we go. There we go.
That's better.
Thank
That's
you.
better.
And Tony,
Don't-
like
can stay.
again,
Don't dock my pay. I brought a ham bag.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 8, student achievement report. Good evening.
Good evening. So we have 2 parts today. Mine is going to be very short. It's one of the key pieces of House Bill 190 is that we have an acceleration plan, accelerated learning plan. You all passed the policy back in July, and so this is just the next component, so I wanted to give you a quick update. So the purpose of this plan is to provide equitable access to advanced coursework and accelerated learning opportunities through grades 4 through 12. Again, this is in accordance with House Bill 190. Nothing in this plan is new. The House Bill 190 really just formalizes this, so you're not going to hear a lot of new information, but Here we are. All right. So just the definitions, advanced coursework. So that's just our programming, whether that's dual credit, whether that is AP courses, whether that's acceleration in elementary, that's advanced coursework. Same with advanced learning, is just basically anything that goes beyond the grade level standard and those grade level expectations. So again, this is targeting our grades 4 through 12 in language arts, mathematics, social studies, and science. For students to be eligible for advanced coursework, students are identified through any standardized assessment, teacher recommendations, classroom performance, any expressed interest, or any other district-approved metrics. And enrollment, all students are eligible, and if they do fall within that, they are invited to enroll in any appropriate advanced coursework. So the delivery models are that we continue through collaborative and co-teaching. So you see that within our gifted program, you see that within our intervention programs, you see that within the MyPath with iReady. We also have pull-out programs, any honors, AP. I did leave IB, even though currently we don't use IB, but just to make sure that that's an option if we ever wanted to make that pivot. Independent study, mentorships, dual credit opportunities with local universities, but all of those are different strategies that we use to provide advanced coursework. Another piece of this is that any teacher who is involved in advanced coursework will have professional development around that. We will be monitoring and reporting all of the opportunities that we provide, the number of students that we are providing these opportunities to, as well as the demographic of those students. Again, the key piece of this measure is to make sure that we have equitable access for all students. And so if they are, actually another piece of this is annually, we will be sure that we are communicating these opportunities to all families and parents of Scott County School students so that they know that we have these opportunities available. And then another key piece of this is the school-based governance. So all of our schools as of December 1 they already had an accelerated learning policy, but what we did is we just made sure that they each had a basis so that they can ensure that they are meeting the KRS. And so all of those schools have been provided that and have all passed their school-based policies. Again, we are partnering with all of our local universities, additional programming. So as Billy had mentioned with Miss Reed, she had done the Holocaust field trip. All of those are just different opportunities that we can provide students to accelerate their learning. The plan will be published on the district website. And of course, we will review this annually. As we do all of our plans. So that in a nutshell is the accelerated learning plan for Scott County Schools. And so if you have any questions, please let me know.
As an elementary person,
Mhm.
is this beyond gifted and talented?
It is, it can be. Now gifted and talented is also a piece of this, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's only gifted and talented. And so as an elementary, one of the things that we made sure as we put into place the policies, especially at the elementary level, is to make sure that it is already encompassing of the opportunities that we already provide. And so let's say if a student, if we are showing that necessarily they may want accelerated learning in social studies, then we would look at what other opportunities that we provide in the school beyond just what we're doing in the classroom to give them those advanced learning opportunities.
Okay. Because I just see as an elementary person, sometimes students who are gifted in areas don't get to be in gifted
Exactly.
because they don't pass a certain test.
Right.
So
Yeah,
right.
and that's what
yeah.
I do like about this legislation is it makes sure that it's not the only opportunity, and so I think that's the why behind this legislation was to make sure that we are providing opportunities for all students, not just our gifted and talented. So that's a great question.
Is leadership like part of this too?
So currently it just says science, social studies, reading and math.
Okay. So
But however, you could easily encapsulate that
Okay.
into those. So, all right, great. If you
Bouncing off that, so thinking about the non-identified gifted and talented in elementary, this looks like the third grader who by the end of the year is flying through reading group, moving on up to the fourth grade reading group, just heading down the hall.
Yep.
That's what we're
100%.
looking at.
Yep. Or if it's a student who is showing that they need some accelerated learning in science, which we do see, that's really where your differentiation comes into play. Maybe giving them some additional opportunities, working with your librarian, working with your Frisk. What can we do to give the student additional supports within science that go beyond just the standard that is required in the classroom?
Who's in charge of making sure this happens?
Me.
That's why she
Okay,
got
me.
it.
That's why
That's
I'm
why she
here.
got it after this summer when we went through the
Yeah.
days of legislation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I will say the principals, and then of course
Yeah.
under my oversight.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, and my elementary brain is going, and I just
Sure.
see there's so
And
many
that's the-
gifted kids that don't get
Yeah.
to get this.
As we
experience, so,
developed
yeah.
this, that was the group that we were the most mindful of
Mhm.
because I think I know in middle school and high school it's more natural because you
Right.
have dual credit, you
Yeah.
have AP, you have all these different
Mhm.
opportunities, and so we wanted to be mindful of the elementary, that 4th and 5th grade.
I
Yeah.
love that. I agree.
Yep.
Because the
Yeah.
boxing in of grades, I never understood it.
Yeah.
I was always so appreciative of my kids' elementary years.
Yeah.
Their leadership was fully open. I mean,
Yep.
If she's fired at 5th grade, then she ought to be in 5th grade math. Even
Yep.
if she's in 2nd grade.
Right.
Right.
Feel to that.
Yep.
I was appreciative.
Yep. All right. Well, now I will hand it over to the fun and amazing Lizzie Andell.
Yeah, you and I.
Yeah, no.
Good evening and happy holidays to everyone. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to update you all on our student support work we've been doing in Scott County. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through our Frisk services, our community schools updates, and the impact we're seeing, and particularly in attendance, behavior, and in student and family engagement. Our support is grounded in these 3 main areas: Frisk Center Services, Community Schools Implementation, and strategic expansion across Scott County. All of this work is aligned to ensuring barriers to learning are addressed so that all students can fully engage in their learning environment. Our Frisk vision completely centers on excellence in school-based family support. They are currently working on their continuation program plan that is ensuring that our services are what is needed at the time by the families and the students that are in their buildings. And when our families and students enter our buildings, these are the faces they see. We currently have 11 Frisk centers across our district. This slide, along with the next slide, is dedicated to the staff assigned at each school, and their presence is critical. When you walk into one of our centers, these are the smiling faces you see. And often you see them also out in our community at events such as the ribbon cutting for Russ's Kitchen, different conferences like Victory Over Violence. They are out making sure that they are a part of our community and they're supporting our community in every way they can. They are often our first point of contact when our families are in most desperate need, and they are always a welcoming face that's available to our community. This is just one example. They were highlighted, Great Crossing was, in the state Frisk newsletter in 2024 about their boot camp that they offered for free after school at Great Crossing. 28 kids signed up for this program, and they gave them a pre-test, and in the beginning, their average score was 20, and they actually ended up, their post-test scoring a 22. And my children are currently taking the ACT, and I know how hard it is to make gains like that. So I was super impressed, and I wanted to share that data with you. 21 of the kids that took that free course that was offered by course experts at Great Crossing, but was organized and represented out in the public by the Frisk, made progress and grew confidence while taking their ACT. So we're super proud of that growth. And we know that education and learning goes beyond the classroom. And this is just another example of how the Frisk are helping our students beyond the classroom. Prevention is always a major focus for our Frisk families. Our Frisk lead programming around substance abuse and vape prevention. That's something that's we always are on our forefront and our focus. We want to make sure that keep our kids safe and healthy. Also, bullying and child abuse prevention. That's something that they're always focused on, and suicide prevention and fire safety. They're proactive, and they put in effort to help reduce long-term crises and try to keep our kids safe and supported, both inside and outside the classroom walls. We briefly touched on academic support, but here's additional academic supports that our Frisk do provide, because we all know, like I said before, academics go on way beyond the classroom. They offer family literacy nights and math nights. And our math nights are usually really popular because one thing I always hear in the community is, I don't understand math now. So we try to offer lots of math nights so families feel secure in helping their students with math. Also with college and career preparation camps, summer enrichment, academic presenters, we just make sure that any opportunities to close gaps and strengthen our families' and students' confidence, we try to make that happen. We try to bring as many partnerships in to eliminate barriers and support academics beyond the classroom. Health barriers can quickly become classroom barriers. So they supply supports such as vision screenings, hearing screenings, dental assistance within the building, backpack snack programs to make sure that our families that do not have food at home have food on the weekends, hygiene and nutrition lessons to make sure that our kids understand how to be prepared for school the next day. And then going even beyond that is when our families have issues with getting to appointments beyond the school day, they also help with transportation to make sure that families can get there. These services ensure that our children are physically ready to learn. And if they're physically not ready to learn, they're not going to be able to learn. Then we also have our mental health support. As you know, more than ever, that's a continued growing need. So our Frisk helps our children grow in that resiliency area, make sure that they're practicing those skills at a very young age, and have also set up some incredible mentoring options that we'll discuss soon, bringing in lots of different community partners to help fill in those gaps in mental health when we need support. Also, we've gotten grants through a grief agency, and we have grief groups at our schools, and that's also super beneficial. We try to rotate those around the schools, and those are a free service due to a grant that right now Julie Biddle's filling out, so it's a wonderful free service that our kids get. We also have our leadership and lighthouse teams who are showing kids within their buildings what it should look like to be a student. You need those models, especially when you're little. You need those models around you constantly so you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And those leadership and lighthouse teams have really helped improve that. So this work that they've done with them, it really helps student regulation in the classroom, behavior. And then when they have that behavior and regulation in order, then they can engage in the lessons. And then, of course, what are we always looking for? We're wanting them to have a career exploration. We're wanting them to have career goals and future readiness. So we're always providing career fairs and job fairs. Our middle schoolers every summer have a, you okay? Have a safe sitter training. We have had incredible career field trips. We are so blessed with Toyota and businesses like Commonwealth Tools and Machines that have allowed our students to come in and do hands-on exploration of career opportunities right here in Scott County. So these experiences not only help our children see the relevance to their lessons, but also pathways in Scott County beyond graduation. And then they don't just stop there, but it's also parenting skills and support, because we know quite often our families also need that support. So we work really hard on making sure that there's parenting programs. We've made some really strong father engagement initiatives in this county, which have been super successful and super fun to share the classrooms with the dads. We have incredible, again, I could go on and on about community partners. Lola's Laundry, who's allowing us to have laundry services with some of our schools and provide free laundry service. Amen House providing food and clothing, holiday assistance, mental health sessions for parents. These supports help families remain connected and engaged to our schools. And also, when families are healthy, kids can learn. If the kids aren't worried about their parents, they can focus on what they're supposed to be learning in the classroom. So from 24 to 25, I just pulled some of their data because I know that's always fun information. So last year we had 1,625 phone calls home from our Frisk team, 674 home visits, and over 9,895 visits to our centers across Scott County. And these numbers reflect direct, hands-on engagement with families and students. These are interventions happening before, during, and after the school day, and also during summer break, fall break, winter break, and spring break. Year-round services that are available to our students in Scott County. And I'm forever thankful to our Frisk for what they do to help our students be able to learn. Students can't learn if their basic needs aren't met. Frisk remove barriers so learning becomes possible.
Here, before you move on to that, one thing I want to add, thank you. I know that you saw that it's 11 centers, and so I just want to point out you saw that data, and that also is showing that a lot of our Frisk have more than one school. And so that's just something to be mindful of, that they are able to work to make sure that all of our students in all of our schools are met. So I just wanted to point that out because that's a very powerful piece of data to see. So
There are two names underneath some of the schools. So is that like an assistant?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. Yep. Yeah, some of the centers have a Frisk coordinator and then a Frisk liaison. So if it's italics, it's the liaison. If it's bolded, it's the coordinator. And the coordinator's lead for they might be a lead for one school or they might be a lead for two schools.
And trust me, we try to get more, but Frisk tells us no. So.
Yeah, we do. Every time that there's an opportunity to fill out to try to get center split, we try to get center split. But we're actually pretty lucky because Jefferson County, some of them have 4 centers they're over or 3 centers they're over. So we're kind of on down. Fayette County might be like that too. So we're kind of on down the list when they're splitting centers, when some centers are made up of 3 or 4 centers. So now the community schools, that community school work was built upon the Frisk Foundations. So we're going to roll into that next. And the goal of that is to, again, integrate academics, health, enrichment, and family engagement in one coordinated model. So it's kind of merging with the Frisk. So our primary focus areas moving forward include enrichment opportunities, attendance, and family engagement. This is something that we've talked to the parents about, talked to our community partners about, and this is going to be our focus moving forward for the school year. And we've got lots to celebrate. We've already seen some meaningful gains at Garth and Southern, and these schools will serve as models for what we want the community school model to look like as we expand. So here's our big first highlight, Garth's attendance rates. So Garth set a goal for themselves of having 93.2% attendance rate by 25-26. So they were kind of averaging in 92, 91 land for a bit. But if you go ahead and look at their October of 23-24, they were at 93.65%. They jumped a whole percentage point in 25-26 at that same time of the year.
And that doesn't sound. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but for you all know,
It's a
I mean,
lot.
it's huge.
It's
It is
huge.
Huge.
It's huge. And it's huge for so many reasons. It's huge because it's the teachers putting in the effort of reaching out to those kids and telling them that they miss them when they're not there. It's huge because the Frisk has got relationships that are getting people in the building. It's huge because Leader and Me and Profile of the Learners helping kids to feel like they're important in the classroom and they're needed. They're talking about attendance. They're meeting with kids. The kids know what their attendance goals are. They know when they meet them. They know when they don't. It's a whole teamwork, and that's what all this community school work is about. It's not one person doing things. It's all the things we're doing together to help our kids improve. And then you look at November. I mean, they were in 23-24, they were at 92.9%. They're at 95%. They're with the other elementary schools. That was our goal, like down the road. Like we're already meeting that. We are so proud of our kids. We are so proud of our parents. They are making this happen. And again, it's all of the pieces we've put into action as Scott County has made this attendance goal be met at Garth.
And one of the things too that I think oftentimes when you're a school principal at elementary school, that beginning of school that's your peak. Like you're not gonna see that. That's kind of you start into getting flu, all the things. So to see that it's increasing as we approach November is kind of amazing.
It is. It is. We are super excited. The kids are super excited. The teachers are super excited. We've worked hard to get here, but it's been, like I said, it's been a collaborated effort. And so it's been worth our effort. We're super excited. Southern, similar. Their goal was 93.3%. No, I'm sorry, 93%. That was their goal. And if you can see, they're 23-24, October again, 91%. And that was kind of around where they teetered, sometimes in even the high 80s. Look at October for 25-26, 95%. These are our goals for down the road, and we are already getting there. We are already getting there. We are trending in the right direction. They're growing, and it's due to attendance interventions, family outreach. Again, you can't walk down Laura Keegan's hallway and not see all the attendance they've got by classroom, by grade level. The kids know, and they know that their teachers care, and it's making a difference. It's making a difference, and we're super excited for them. Behavior as well. We have really been improving behavior at both Southern and Garth. Behavior incidents decreased by 29% at Southern. We're super thrilled. And again, this is not just community schools. It is Profile of a Learner, Leader in Me, leadership teams, giving the students leadership opportunities within the school day. That's what improves this. It's that group effort of us working together to make sure that our kids are recognized and they know what they're needing to do. Then at Garth, they had steady behavior data, but this year, from August till now, our big celebrations, they've only had 5 behavior incidents reported in Infinite Campus, which is amazing. When I pulled it up, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to pull this up again. I think this is even right. I mean, that is huge. And it's that intentionality. It's making sure kids know expectations, that kids got people that believe in them, that are in their corner, that are cheering them on. And that's what this community school is about. All of us lifting up these schools and making sure they have all the sports specific to them. And these are just some of our community partners. Just some, not all of them, but some of them. And they are the reason, they are a huge reason why we are doing as well as we're doing. None of this has happened in isolation. This has all happened with community partners that have come to the table and said, how can I help you retain teachers? How can I help your teachers feel more comfortable in the classroom? How can I help them transition? How can I help with reading? How can I help with mentoring? How can I help with school supplies? How can I help with kids that aren't able to get to the doctor? Everyone's come to the table and they're helping us meet these goals. And it's been incredible to work with everyone. So now we're going to go into upcoming initiatives and behind the scenes news. So first, we're going to go over some of the initiatives that are currently at Garth and Southern. We've got a whole wide range of items that we're doing. We've started our family and community partner learning walks, which allows family members and community partners to come into the classroom and kind of experience what the day looks like. First, they get trained in confidentiality, and then they are allowed to, we teach them what it looks like to be an observer in the classroom, because if you've never been in the classroom, you kind of don't know where to stand or what exactly you're supposed to do. So we explain that. Then we enter the classroom. They get to see the students in action, and then we get coverage for the class. The teachers and our guests come and they get to ask questions. And it's been super beneficial for people to better understand what the classroom looks like and how it's evolved over the years. We also are doing car rider chats to make sure that we're keeping our fingers on the pulse of our parents. We're just constantly checking to make sure that we are meeting the needs that they need currently. We are doing art on a card. Unfortunately, sometimes there are cuts in schools, so our art program was cut. This was something that the parents wanted, so we had some college kids come in. One's doing primary art and one's doing secondary. We have our incredible community hospitals is coming in and doing our clinic starting January 5th. That has been like 2 years in the making. reading 1-to-1, mentoring programs, just all the good things, all the wraparound services that anyone could ever ask for Garth and Southern. And here are some pictures of some of our events we've held. This is our community learning walks. And the first picture is in our 4th grade classroom at Garth. And they were just back being observers, watching the classroom, collecting data, like information or questions they wanted to ask later. The middle is Miss Lacasco's classroom. And it was so funny when one of the gentlemen walked in, he was like, oh my gosh, I could live in here. And I was like, I know, it's like a beautiful apartment. I mean, people just don't know how much effort sometimes teachers put into classrooms. And it's really nice for parents to come in and see, oh, this is what my student's classroom looks like. This is beautiful. And then the last picture is Alonzo Allen and Miss Mitchell, who's been an incredible partner with community schools. And she was just kind of explaining some of the things to him that he was seeing in the classroom. Then we have our learning labs. This is actually a picture of a training that our Georgetown College kids were completing with Billy Travis. And she was teaching them some techniques to keep engagement in the learning labs. And then also the little picture of the little girl on the right, we were able to purchase Simple Solutions books through the grants for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders at Garth. This is an example of our learning walks. Look, you made it. And it's just some of our families, us connecting with them. Just like in the pictures, it's sometimes the frisk, it's sometimes the principal, sometimes it's me and Stephanie. It just kind of depends. And we just like to go and check in on our parents, see if there's any needs. Sometimes we give them survey questions. Sometimes we just give them little snacks and say, hey, thanks for being great. Have a good spring break. So it's really helping us to connect with families. This was what I was telling you about with the art projects that the college kids are coming and doing. So we have 2 separate college kids that come. One works with primary. She was working at a preschool before, or like part-time, and she really wanted to continue to do that art portion of it. And she's in school at Georgetown College, so we invited her in. And she did the poppies with the K1 and 2. And then 3rd, 4th, and 5th did a separate project that was about the empty seat for the military worker. So again, super cool community partners coming in and doing super cool projects with our kids. This is my favorite. We have gotten our high school leadership kids trained through Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they are doing mentoring at Southern. The kids absolutely love it, but Stephanie had the opportunity of talking to the little girl all the way to the left, and she was saying how meaningful it's been to her as being a big. They go and meet with them once a week. They've already built really strong bonds with each other, and it's been a great mentoring opportunity. And we're actually going to be offering that at a couple schools, and we're super excited to have Big Brothers Big Sisters working with Scott County Schools again. And this is just, I love this picture. That's Miss Weber, and she's absolutely precious. She's a kindergarten teacher in Southern. But this kind of just shows like the pride they have in winning their attendance award. They really publicize it, and this is just her little kindergarten class, and they're so proud, and we're so proud of them, and they won the attendance award. But they're really putting that intentionality of like making it something we're celebrating and something that's important to them and the kids. And this is our Reading 1-to-1 program. On the left were some of our families from Garth that and their kids that they were paired with. And on the right, that was one of our coaches at Southern. And that little guy, he's absolutely precious, but he rarely looks like that. He's usually head down, kind of eyes to the floor kind of kiddo. But he made the greatest bond with his reading coach. And he is a whole different kid. His confidence has increased. His reading has increased. It's just a connection. He just needed a connection, and this lady has read with him, and she's back this year reading with him again. So it's really incredible. It's incredible. It's meant to improve reading, but it does way more than that. Way more than that. And then also Southern really wanted some more mental health support. So their fabulous Frisk has done a great job of making a monthly mental health Friday where we have different agencies from of community partners within the district that come in, and they do everything from breathing techniques to different strategies to reading stories, all different types of activities, making sometimes stress balls, just to have that intentionality of having additional support in that area. From the beginning, when we got this grant, our goal was to expand this beyond Southern and Garth. Southern and Garth were going to be our pilot schools, but we wanted to extend this beyond those schools. That was the goal from day one. We have started our expansion. Lemons Mill is one of our focus. We talked about scores last month. So Lemons Mill was one of our main focuses. We went and met with Miss Morgan, and she told us, we brought her some options of how we could start with community engagement and pull in families. And these were the choices she made. She wants to go ahead and start her car rider chats. She has loved the implementation of Strong Fathers, Strong Families at Garth. So she wants to start that at her school. And then she wants to implement those family learning walks. Creekside, they actually piloted the BIGS program, so they're continuing that program. They've also got Scott County Leadership Kids coming over and working with their students, so we're going to continue to expand upon that. And Mason, we got them started in our Reading 1-to-1 program to help their kids improve their reading scores and keep growing. And then also, they are wanting to do their car rider chats to make sure that they are very familiar and understanding what their parents' needs are. So they're going to be starting that. Then our non-CEP schools, or schools that don't get free lunch and breakfast, we're starting to try to look for sponsors for cafeteria adoption programs where we can put money into accounts for kids that do not have the funds for lunch, where we can supply lunch and they're not getting like an ongoing bill running. And that's going to be very closely tied with the Frisk, because they're aware of who's going to need those assistance. And then, of course, we've had a lot of engagement within the county. We always make sure to put a little blurb about a tip or something initiative, one of the pieces in our newsletter, so other principals can try these techniques. Also, Frank Howard was wonderful and let us come and present to the assistant principal cadre, Miss Mitchell and myself, and we talked to them about different strategies they could implement at their school. District leadership meetings, we've gone to DLT and talked to them about different strategies. And then also, I just try to always put my name out there, like, hey, if you need guidance or help getting something started, call me over. I'll show you what we've got, and we can help you implement that.
One of the things I want to say about this slide is, the things that Southern and Garth have done have given us really just a menu options of all these different things for other schools to explore. For instance, the first draft of this I saw did not have car rider chats with Ann Mason Elementary.
No, it didn't.
No, it did not. But that all came from literally a conversation that we had today at their school about some of their needs, and that just seemed to line up really well with some of the things that they were wanting to do there. So again, I just think in that regard, it's really great, because we've got things we learn how to implement them in our, I guess, pilot schools, and then we're able to expand on the things that we have found great success with that we know meet a particular need that a school might have.
And it's all really individualized. It's not like cookie cutter that everyone gets the same thing. We build it for which each school needs. And that's what we got to pilot at Southern and Garth. And now that we've gotten strong in it, we can offer it to other schools. So it's providing equity, but not really equity. It's like, it's a two terms. Equality and equity. I should have gone there. Okay.
It's differentiated.
Differentiated. That's what I was looking for. It's differentiated. So I'll close with this. I mean, truly, Scott County is the best place to live and learn. And I know Mr. Parker doesn't always put this, but I really, truly believe to work for everyone. Student support is a key part of making a vision a reality. And I never would have thought we would have met our goals we've already met. But that's due to Scott County's support, not everyone Scott County. So thank you for your continued support and partnership, and thank you for allowing me to talk tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was amazing. I appreciate you sharing everything with us. You guys do a lot of important things for the schools, that's for sure. Number 9, approve Scott County Schools redistricting plan.
So moved.
All in favor? Oh, sorry. What do we got?
Yeah, well, so I just wanted to make sure, we were good here and nobody had any questions about this. We presented I presented this to you all. You all saw a version of this. You also saw, for those that were able to attend, we had a forum. Everybody's had an opportunity to voice concerns that they had with the forum. And then, really, we left that available for everybody to see. I'm going to speed up all the way through to the very last piece of this because we did make one tweak based on the forum. A lot of conversation after the forum was around traffic. And that honestly surprised me just a touch. I do understand that 62 is a busy road, and I do understand that there's traffic from Toyota. But we've got, when I think about some of our other schools only have one way in and out. And so this is just a slide that shows, oh man, and my red's not showing up. Well, I don't know that the light.
What do you want to point?
Yeah,
Down here?
so there you go. So
This is Pleasant.
that's the Pleasant Valley connection that we have, and then on the upper left corner there is the connection to 62. One of the things I also wanted to point out, because I was having a conversation with someone after the forum, and they're aware of where the entrance, the general area with the entrance, but they were thinking that little rock road that currently is there is the road and so clearly you can see a much grander main entrance with multiple lanes out. So again, we've got multiple ways for people to access the site. And again, the first year we do not plan to be even remotely close to full capacity because again, we are planning for the growth that is coming that we've been told about by Georgetown Scott County Planning Commission. So I think we will have time to make adjustments and tweaks based on any concerns that might exist there. You can also see, similar to Creekside, we have an abundance of stacking at Creekside. We've made sure we have an abundance of stacking for cars on site here at Oxford. That was most of our schools weren't designed in the days of everyone being car riders, and now that we're able to design for that, we're making sure that we don't have that as a problem. So I did want to share that specifically because that did seem to come up quite frequently, and also just in case you all had any questions maybe that came to you from the community beyond the forum, or that questions that you had, I just wanted to make sure I gave you that opportunity to ask them now while we're talking about the plan before the redistricting plan was approved. Okay.
I'm going to jump into this again, cover ourselves.
Yes, please.
Number 9, approve Scott County Schools redistricting plan.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Sorry, Brenda. Confusing her now.
I just want to be clear. Number 10, approve to amend the 2025-2026 school calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, approve 2026-2027 school board meeting calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, review and approve Scott County Schools Acceleration Plan.
Sneaking one in like tokens.
Yeah, I know, those little wordsmiths there.
That's
DT
what
will
she
give me, I
just-
did that once before.
What
Yeah.
Stephanie just went over, right?
Yes.
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 Yep.
Approved.
Yes.
I mean, I said approved. So moved.
Second. Okay, thank you for approving that. Let that be on record. I have a first,
You had a second over here with
All
Ms.
in
Duncan.
favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 13, second reading and approval of revised policy 07.1, food school nutrition services.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, approve emergency certification for the following 14A and 14B.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 15, approve to create the following positions 15A through 15C.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, approve agreement with Wedco District Health Department and University of Kentucky Adolescent Medicine and the Scott County Board of Education.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, approve agreement between National Center for Families Learning, NCFL, and Scott County Board of Education.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 18, approve clinical practice agreement between the University of Kentucky and Scott County Board of Education.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 19, approve surplus items as submitted.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 20, financial report.
Included in your board packet is the summary of cash activity for November 2025. Our beginning balance was a little over 56 million. We have receipts of 7 million, expenditures of 9.9 million, leaving our ending cash balance is 53,124,668.46. Of that, 7,314,617.11 is in investments for our construction project, leaving our ending cash balance as $45,807,646.25. Any questions?
Thank you. Number 21, approve current bills.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 22, superintendent's report.
All right, so both Representative Grossell and Senator Nunn were able to participate in principal for a day. Representative Grossell went to Creekside and Senator Nunn went to Garth. So they both report having a wonderful time and learning lots. Oxford redistricting plan prep and presentation was also something that a lot of time was spent between last board meeting and now. Scott County Middle School had their Blue Rally. Miss Ratliff was also there in attendance for that. That was just, again, we're really proud of the work that they have put in there. Mid-year site visits have finished those up. We had a special session in which we talked about the K-1 retention plan that we had spent time on. Cultural leadership, we got to participate in the Great Crossing High School chili cook-off. I didn't realize they had one. I knew Scott County had one, but Great Crossing invited me to theirs. It was they did a really good job hosting that. We had Friendsgiving here at Central Office. I went to the Stamping Ground Holiday Cafe, which this year had the addition of the time capsule that they opened from 2000. That was interesting. Most things survived, but although a little bit water damaged, it was interesting to see. My favorite was Jennifer Race, who said that in 25 years I hope to be retired and have grandkids, neither of which have happened. She's still in the building. Yes. So. Yep. So that was rather comical, but it was. They always do a wonderful job with that event. The line for people to come in and get fed was all the way down that main hall there.
Well, I'll interject. We're all the better Scott County Schools for Mr. Race not having.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. When I was in Franklin County, we got the benefit of her coming to us for a few years, and they hated to see her go there as well. Billy Hicks Classic also, we've learned that is just a magnet for snow, apparently, because we move it to December and it brings the worst December we've ever seen. And then the Georgetown Middle School Expo, they did a really, really phenomenal job with that. Really excited for everything that they've got going there. And they had a lot of students that participated in presentations there. Just great stuff. Again, I talked about the Oxford redistricting discussion that happened with regard to the entire community, but I did also after that go and have a discussion at a staff meeting with Eastern Elementary staff specifically related to staffing and questions that they had specific to that. Managerial leadership. snow days. So I did want to just kind of share this because there have been a lot of talk about NTI versus no NTI and what are we doing, and so really we haven't deviated from how we've always handled it in the past. We always in the past we would use traditional snow days if we ever had days in December before we ever kicked into NTI. Now, in addition to that, I would also say my philosophy on this, as I've said in many board meetings for multiple years, has shifted to I would much rather have a full in-person day versus an NTI day. So, you know, at this point, you all approved the calendar that adjusted it by 4 days. We've got 2 more days that we could have traditional snow days and adjust the calendar without getting into June 1st. June 1st, I don't want to get into. So right now, the plan would be to use the next 2 days being traditional snow days. Then beyond that, if we have more needs, then shifting to NTI days. So that's the kind of the plan, I suppose, is in terms of just giving that awareness. But again, that's something I think we've talked about it, but we've talked about it maybe in times that people weren't maybe paying attention as closely to it. So I just wanted to kind of express that and communicate that now. You know, 10 days of the school calendar is roughly 6% and of the school calendar, and you know that's it's just a lot of time with kids to give up. And if the main thing's the main thing, then by
Look
gosh,
at the gains we just made.
we need to be here for it. So
I understand it, but I also understand it's not as
yeah,
not as impactful.
And Billy, how many NTI days? I get
we
that
get
question
10.
asked
We
all the
get
time.
10. Another consideration with regard to how many days do we get with NTI is the fact that NTI days are legislated. So what I have encountered, because I do spend quite a bit of time in Frankfurt, is I get to hear some legislators get a little aggravated when they see school districts that are burning through their NTI days. So it also strategically isn't a bad idea to have not burned through your NTI days when session starts and as you're going through the session. So I think session starts January 5th. We're able to report that we haven't used a single one. So I have had conversations specifically with Senator Nunn on this topic, and he appreciates and supports the direction that we're trying to take it as well. So anyway, just wanted to speak a little bit more on that one since that has come up, and I know you all had fielded some questions too. So that way you've got that to kind of point them back to.
I appreciate your.
I do
Yeah.
too. Totally.
You know, school site cleanup, parking lots and sidewalks, you know, Greg Brandenburg and his team, just phenomenal job. Really appreciate them. If you know, we had some roads that weren't able to go Monday, but it wasn't because of our school sites. Our school sites were in great shape, and congratulations. Thank you, Greg and team, because sometimes it is disheartening sometimes to me when I know how much effort our custodians and maintenance staff have put into trying to be able to go, and then to not be able to, you know, it's one of those that you know, it's just hard, and they get it, but we've got great people, and I really try to circle the district a little bit, and when I catch people out working, jump out, pick up a shovel, and help out for a minute, and just chat it up a little bit, and let them know we're all in it together. Collaborative leadership, I do want to brag on Georgetown Municipal Water and Sewer Services. They, so we ran into a hiccup with Oxford to try and get to the finish line with the sewer connection, and they have helped us get there in terms of an agreement that I believe is, I think there's an agreement going next week to, I think, the city for approval. But again, it should be rather agreeable to them because we'll be paying for that. It's just they're helping us get there through easements that they have and that kind of thing. But they've been great in trying to get us there as fast as possible. So we're really excited about being able to work together in that way. And then last but not least, influential leadership. Mayor Jenkins, we finished up school visits. We got every school visited, and it's interesting to go with Mayor Jenkins because the questions he gets are often very different from the questions that I get. And we got to have some times where we both got questions, and so it was just a fun little time. KASS, the Kentucky Association of School Superintendents, we had their annual conference, which happened around some of the snow days, so that made it fun. And then last but not least, Toyota had a executives and community leaders networking event in which had an opportunity to just have some conversations with some folks, particularly President Creech, around some of the things we've got going on in partnership with TMMK. So that's my superintendent's report.
All right. Next up is board comments. I'm just going to join in and comment that I went to the GMS community showcase that was there, and I was part of the leadership group, kickoff group on that, and it was really great, to go and see how the kids are doing, and they had a big sense of pride at GMS. They are doing great things over there. We got to funnel through and look at different things, talk to Ashley Murray, our behavior coach that's over there. They're really doing some fantastic things, and kudos to everybody. It's really, really neat to see, and be in the schools and all the schools and get to see what's going on. But that was special. So if you'd like to go next, Becky.
Sure. I also was able to attend along with Eleanor the Gifted and Talented showcase that was over at Elkhorn Crossing, and I'm just so proud of the kinds of opportunities that we give our students who need special challenges in different areas in which they have a lot of expertise and interest in using their talents and creative activities, and the wide variety of experiences our GT teachers, with Ms. Reed heading that up, are giving our students whom I am assured will be future leaders in Scott County. So that's very impressive.
I also attended the showcase and at the beginning before you got there, and really enjoyed that. I didn't get to go to the Georgetown Middle School showcase or expo, but I had my husband go.
He
I saw him.
did.
My
He
husband
did.
showed up with his
We
sweater.
saw you.
Did he
We
really
saw
got my
you
sweater?
on the
Yes,
sweater.
yes.
Yes.
He has a Christmas sweater with a picture of us on it. So, but he was very impressed. I mean, and I'm a Georgetown student, and just the exposure that the children have to the different pathways, I think that's very exciting. I'm just so excited for Georgetown. Part of the redistricting forum. I'm really excited as a board member because I got to do a lot of things this month that I never get to do because it was in the evening. But I do want to make the board aware that I am one of a new board member for the Governor's Office of Board Commissions. I had to write it down, make sure I get it right. It's called SCACS, School Curriculum Assessment and Accountability Council. So in March, I'll start. So I'll be working with 17 or 16 other board members, just thinking about school and accountability, representing as a board member. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. Another big algorithm.
Yes.
Gotta always throw them on there, huh? In the
Yeah.
school system.
Yeah, I get
That's
to
a-
report back.
Yeah, exactly.
About accountability.
Susan.
Yeah, this month. Last week met state school board met in Louisville, and it wasn't a 2-day, just our 1 day. So we got finance, business, and all that taken care of. And then I spent a day this week scoring our Governor's Scholars applications.
Yay.
And I have to say, it is just such a treat to spend a day with leaders around the district focused on these kids and reading about their lives and the experiences they're bringing and how enriching their lives are and how they're contributing to our communities. I don't think you could believe me if I could tell you the list of ways we were able to read about our students who aren't even 18 yet, who are contributing in ways that people go their whole lives and don't find such meaningful contributions to make. And they're so impressive. And I also think we forget when we hear these names that we're sending off to the universities for a 6-week summer event that we're handing them a 6-figure tool. We're giving them a free 4-year education at a state school. And so as teachers and community members, they're counting on us for their recommendations and their support to be involved in these things and to get those recommendations. And it's important for us as teachers and as community members and board members to realize these opportunities are out there. And it might sound like, oh, these kids are just applying for something, but it's a 6-figure, it's just a huge deal that these children are going to get not only this great experience, but they get to go to Western for free. And UK needs to step up and go back to offering full tuition. I'll put that plug in. Shame on them. Because it's true. They have one of the lowest, they have one of the easiest acceptance rates in the SEC. And the very least they can do is give the best and brightest in our state a full ride.
Yeah.
And if you read these kids' applications, nobody in this room could argue that they don't all deserve it.
Oh, that's great.
Really
Susan, how long
appreciate
have you been doing that? It's been some time, hasn't it?
it. Well, since the year after Nick and Elizabeth went, so that they went after their junior year, so up since 2017.
Okay,
So about 8 years ago.
very neat. I'm glad you do that. Enjoy it.
It's an honor. It really
Yeah.
is.
That's really neat.
So good luck to all of them.
That's wonderful. Eleanor?
I also attended the Georgetown Middle Showcase, and I think the children, they have what they call houses, and I think that as sixth graders, they loved it. They felt immediately a part of Georgetown Middle. But I went into the leadership room, and to hear these, I specifically sat with a young man and a young lady, and they go to Georgetown Middle, Garth Elementary, and these two went to Creekside, and they get to meet with the elementary students. Think back when you were, of course, I can't think that far, but you all think back when you were in elementary school, if you didn't have an older student come in, and it's so meaningful. But the neatest part to me was that the middle school kids got so much out of it. And that's what I loved. I just thought they were so proud of how their students had been doing. And the whole showcase was wonderful. But anyway, I sat through a math lesson. That was very interesting. She did much, much better job than I ever did in school. I said, boy, I was lucky they kept me teaching. And then I went to Scott County Middle School's pep rally, or the Blue Day, for their high scores. And Cameron Mills was the keynote. And it was very meaningful, especially I could see the teachers because they had the screen with his three. I think he had shot more 3-pointers than anybody. So they had that playing, and he read a book that I thought, oh no, here we go, middle schoolers in a book. But the book is what Rick Pitino read to his players at the beginning of each year. And I was telling Becky about it, and it was the kids were they were so well behaved. That book is The Precious Present. And this time of year, it was kind of neat because you think of present as being a physical gift, but that's not what it was. So anyway, that was truly inspiring. And we have a great one at that school, that principal, she is just the best. So anyway, being out and about, we're doing a good job. Thank you all for what you do, and thank you all for what you do.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add one more thing that I forgot that I got to do? I met with the NAACP. They meet with minority teachers and members of Scott County. And I just want to thank Billy Travis, even though she's my cousin. Thank you, Cousin Billy, for just continuing to support that group of teachers. So.
All right, let's move to closed session pursuant to KRS 61.810. 1F to discuss student disciplinary.
Second.
Move.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank
Merry
you,
Christmas. All in favor? Hey, ladies, one more time. Just all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.